Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV. Welcome to the Virginia International Raceway. I'm sure the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that it says in the description Indianapolis, but a short change of plan, and we're now in the heartland of America at a circuit which you couldn't really get much different to. Hello, everybody. I'm Adam Bath, and alongside me for the three races that we've got tonight is Chaz Draycott. Chaz, just before we get to you, you may have noticed as well that we were trying some things out with the overlay. Basically, it's a bit of a lastminute.com job here, and we've got the Ritmatech stuff all up on the screen, but the BSR stuff will be back for race 2 when we get a bit of a break. But Chaz, welcome, Virginia International Raceway. What do you reckon of what do you reckon about this track? I think we should be in for a good evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one. It's a mental track, and it's going to be filled with lots of mental drivers in mental Kias, so should be entertaining nonetheless. I've never actually driven around Virginia, and I must actually just say a big shout out to Steve Burke, who's just provided me with this track about 15 minutes before the broadcast. So thanks, Steve, and hopefully it'll be worth it when we see these guys out on track.
Well, it is the month of May, so you would expect to be at Indy, but we are at Virginia today. Championship standings, we've got them somewhere for you. I'll tell you about them in a second. We've just come into the end of the qualifying session, and at the moment it's Jack Sedgwick on the pole. Jack Sedgwick, who's been doing well recently in the Kia, but hasn't just got near the front, but it looks like he's doing that today, and we'll run you through the grid in a moment. If you're new to the BSRTC, first of all, welcome. We've got 3 races coming up today, 3 20-minute races. Then we've got the reverse grid. That's another thing that I've forgotten to set up, but we'll do that at the end of the opening race. And then, we'll have 2 ad breaks, or an ad break between each race. And as you can see, the session is just coming to an end, and we'll get on the grid. Apologies if I bring up this grid graphic if it says Ritmatech World Challenge. Just haven't had time to change that over, but fingers crossed it won't. But let's bring the grid up. Starting on the pole position, it is Jack Sedgwick. Ignore that. It's Wojciech Savidovic starting in second. Look at that, just 0.02 of a second behind. Then it's Sven Glatzel in third, Nicole Foggy fourth, Alex Everett starting in fifth, 6th Jamie Rushworth, 7th Jamie Fluke, 8th Ben Hackerson, 9th Jim McFadden, and 10th is Dave Baker. 11th Pete Harrod, 12th is Jake Blackhall, then 13th is Pete Newman, 14th Brian Holmes, 15th Rusty Laidler, 16th Christian Rose, then Stephen Baxter in 17th, 18th Michael Hall, 19th is Alex Simpson, the Apex Racing UK driver, and 20th is Anwar Smith. 21st on the grid, Martin Front, 22nd is Adam Hadfield, then Matt Keeber, 23rd, 24th Jack McIntyre, 25th Chris Wood, 26th on the grid Ross McFarlane, 27th Colin Cunniff, 28th Dan Brown, and then 29th is Adam Delmont with Paul Smith, the Yorkshireman, starting in 30th. Jackie Lotterman, 31st. 32nd is Craig Williams. 33rd, Mark Woodhouse. Then 34th, Michael Blake. Maciek Sakovic starting in 35th. Odd to see him that far back. And then 36th, Simon Edwards. 37th, Max Wright. 38th is Craig Evans. Then Kip Stevens, 39th, 2-time BSRTC champion. And then Tristan Bodis in 40th. 41st, Scott Malcolm. 42nd, Dave Crozier. 43rd is Laura Bond. 44th, Carl Janssen. The grid just keeps on coming. It's Josh Thompson starting in 45th. 46th is Nick Madsen. These are all cars that haven't set times. 47th, Adam McNally. 48th, Lee Deemer. Then it's Janowski in 49th. Ash Sutton. Car 01 starting in 50th, reigning BTCC champion. Then Mark Johnston, 51st. Nathan Davis in 52nd. Starting in 53rd is Rob Graham. Then 54th, Lon Murray. And Benjamin Mears starting at the back in 55th place. Big grid. Exciting race in prospects. Let's get TV1 up and running. There's the grid. And any moment now. Yeah, any moment now.
Green, green, green.
We're underway. Sedgwick gets away well. Fantastic start by Sven Glatzel, who started in 3rd position. He's already up into 2nd. He's done with Savidovic. And now he's going to try and get the lead here as we go into the first corner. But you can see how wide he's trying to go here. But Sedgwick looks like he's been able to hold on to it. Contacts with his teammate, though. That's Nicole Foggy that gets pushed out wide. That allows Jamie Rushworth, who's made a great start as well, up 2 positions into 4th. And then Jamie Fluke up into 5th position as well. So fantastic start by the Apex car. He's trying to get past, go around the outside of Nicole Foggy as well. Can he get it done here into the complex? The Apex Racing car is through. So through goes Jamie Fluke into 5th position. Good starts by all those guys. Chaz, just let me know when you get in the session, and then I'll starts asking you some questions. But as we head into the S's for the first time, it's Cedric leading Glatzel, Savinovic, Rushworth, Fluke, Foggy, Everett, McFadden with a good start, Baker as well, and then Ben Hackerson rounding out the top 10 as we start to climb through the S's.
I am in now. I can just see the absolute mayhem of these guys going through those S's. Just having a quick look further down the order, it seems Ross McFarlane's dropped 28 places. Not quite sure what's happened to him. All through the field, there's people moving. I don't think anyone stayed in the same position, really. There's just numbers flying everywhere on the timing screens. It's chaotic first lap as ever with these boys. I mean, look at that train as they come up the hill now. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's absolutely mental. A few cars sideways in the background. Couldn't see who it was. There's smoke. Trying to get to it, but you can see just in the background of the shot, a few cars are off. That is, as I bring up the graphic,
Alex Everett is one of the boys going down the order. It seems.
Yeah, we've got Maciek Sakovic as well, who I think is one of his teammates. That's Maciek Sakovic is one of the Team Mad cars, isn't it? Who's in issues.
Yeah.
But round to complete the first lap then. Over the top of the hill, it's Sedgwick, who's got a few tenths of a second in hand as they come across the line to complete the opening lap. Glatzel second, Savinovic in third, then Rushworth fourth up 2 places, and Fluke in fifth, then Foggy, Everett, McFadden, Baker, Hackerson, Harrod, Blackhall, Newman, Laidler, Holmes, Baxter, Rose, Hall, Simpson, and Burrell Smith rounding out the top 10 as we go through onto lap 2.
Now, I'm not as familiar with these timing screens as you are, Adam, but there's a lot of blue cars at the bottom of the screen and it's saying they're a lap down, so I'm imagining they're guys that have gone to the pits after accidents. It seems like there's 15 of them so far, so quite a hefty toll. It's if that's correct, that is. But yeah, it seems like a lot of them have either been caught up in incidents or have succumbed to their damage at this point.
Well, if you're seeing what I'm seeing, then it probably is because that even though I have got 63 cars visible, for some reason my computer just doesn't want to show the ones towards the bottom. So they may be okay. It's just some of the ones at the back. I think like Lee Deemer and Ross McFarlane, I think, are the only 2 cars that have been in. Also in actually Michael Blake and Simon Edwards. It looks like they've just come in as well. So a few cars in issues already as on the second lap of the race. Just coming out of the Oak Tree bend now, Jack Sedgwick and Sven Glatzel. Let's go on board actually with Sven Glatzel, get away from just the typical camera angles, and let's see what the slipstream's like in this Kia Optima as we build up through the gears and up towards the roller coaster section.
It's been a long time since we've seen this Kia from this angle, I tell you, and heard that noise so many nights in the Club Series and even in the BSRTC Pro Series under my belt, and it's still gets you when you get back in this car. It's a fantastic bit of kit, really.
Really is. There we go. That's a bit better. There we go. There's Sven Glatzel. Oh, running a bit wide. Jack Sedgwick on the exit, but looks like he's been able to hold on to it as we come out of the final corner to complete the second lap of the race. Just seeing what camera packs that we've got that get actually a bit close to the cars. Further down the order, we've got 2 tenths a second here. This is Ben Hackerson versus Dave Baker as we come across the line to complete lap 2. You'll see on the lap counter this first race. It is a timed race. Race 2 and race 3 laps as Hackerson looks up the inside of Dave Baker, who's been doing exceptionally well in the BSRT TC this season. CQR have done exceptionally well too. They've had a fantastic start to the season, while Apex Racing seem to have been floundering really. But for now, Ben Hackerson in the boosted car, who has got a win this season in dramatic fashion at Indianapolis. I was too busy looking at the YouTube chat. At Watkins Glen, another American circuit. He's been doing pretty well as well.
Yeah, he's always been quick in this car, as Ben. I remember, again, coming back to the Club Series days, he came into the series and won his first meeting and then just kept getting race wins from there, and then quite famously missed out on the championship by 1 point at the last corner of the last lap with Maciek Sakovic. And he's proven that he's not got rusty in this car, so it's good to see him back up there again.
Looking here at Anwar Smith, he's sat in 20th position. In front of him, he's got Alex Simpson, reigning iRacing Road Pro Series driver. And then he's in with quite a good group. We've got Michael Hall, we've got Christian Rose, we've got Holmes, and we've got Baxter as well. Not the best run on the exit there by Smith. This could allow Adam Hadfield to get a decent run here as we go up the hill.
Seems to have got a decent overlap already. It's just such a long straight up there, actually, and he's not got an overlap. That's just my eyes deceiving me, so ignore me. He's backed out of its plate safe, although someone just made a move in front of them there.
Yeah.
So Christian Rose, I think, lost out to Holmes in that one.
Yeah, see if we can go back and have a quick look at that one. Just finding the buttons here. I haven't been on the stream in a while, so things are all over the place. But yeah, that's a good job there by Rose.
Just looking at the down the field, the biggest mover so far, Josh Thompson up 19 places, up to 26th, so he must have started quite far down. Mark Johnston's actually up 21 places now he's crossed the line. It's just refreshed on there. And you've also got Nathan Davis, who's moved up 19 places also, so those guys really picking them off at the moment. Hopefully they can continue that over the course of the evening.
Looking here at Josh Thompson, well, we're trying to get a close angle. There he is. He's in 26th place, but he's gained 19 positions. Not in many series can you say that you're in 26th place and gain 19 places, but that's the BSRTC for you. And Josh Thompson there in the Radicals liveried boosted car is working wonders so far. And with the reverse grid still to come, 26th place is pretty handy if we get a small one.
Yeah, you never know with these reverse grids in this series. It can either be what they consider small to be about the 20-odd cars, and then you get the full reverse grid sometimes, I think, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty mental. Back here then in the top 5, we've got Jamie Fluke right in the wheel tracks of Jamie Rushworth. Battle of the Jamies here as they come up the hill. Jamie Fluke, the Irishman, against Jamie Rushworth, the Englishman. Apex versus CQR as well. A battle that we will see throughout the season as we go up to the top of the hill into the roller coaster section, and just in front of Rushworth you can see Wojciech Swidovic as well. So it looks like Apex are getting their acts together here. Chaz, they're having a good race so far.
Yeah, nice consistent results at the moment. Well, I say results, not finished, has it? But you know what I mean. It's just good to see them up there fighting. I mean, we saw Alex doing really well at Motegi a few weeks back, and it's a different car to master. I remember speaking to him about how much practice you have to get in with this machine to just get used to the front wheel drive. I mean, there's so many cars in iRacing that are rear wheel drive. Always we got really close there, really close to the back of Rushworth. Showing off the clipping points of the sim, it seems. But yeah, Alex was saying, obviously, getting used to the front wheel drive is such a strange sensation because you just really want to gun it out of all the corners, but you've just got to be so careful on getting the throttle down and not burning up them front tyres.
Great view from the nose then, and it says the battle for second, but as you can see just in front, this is just one huge long battle for the lead, really. No one's been able to make any advantages, and this is something I expect we're going to see throughout all 3 races, because of course if we're getting this in race 1 with the quick guys at the front, we're probably going to get it in race 2 and race 3 when we've got no disrespect, the slower guys at the front of the field. And look, yeah,
definitely you get that beautiful sort of concertina effect when you get the reverse grids. It really does add some action to it. As a little bit wide there was Wojciech, as they come to the large tree that's ever so famous around here.
I know we say it every time we've come here, but the tree's not there anymore. It got blown over.
Really, is it? I didn't know that, to be fair. I never knew. Not
there anymore, so iRacing preserves it. You can see in the background there, that is Nicole Foggy going into combat here with Jamie Fluke. A lap ago, Fluke was trying to get in the rear of Jamie Rushworth. Now he's having to defend from one of the Scuderia Haggis cars here as we come over the top of the hill. Fluke able to hold on, but he's alongside, isn't he? Scotland versus Ireland here. Oh, that's close. A battle that you won't see at the World Cup this year as they come out the final quarter. I've made my enemies already here saying that. Good thing I'm not on the track. Over the line we go. They can't get me up here. Over the line onto lap 6 of the race. About to get to the halfway point here, as you can see by the clock at the top of the screen, and Foggy trying to get the outside manoeuvre done there. And you can see the brake discs glowing there on the Apex car of Rushworth and Nicole Foggy, and you can see Alex Everett behind there as well. Different Northern Lights Racing team, but they're both in the same stable, so Everett might be trying to get in on the act here as well.
Yeah, they've all got really, really pretty cars over at Northern Lights this season. I've been looking at, I think it was, I can't remember who did it. I don't know I think it was Carl Hayes of Hazy Designs that's done them, and we've always seen that Carl does a good job on these cars, and he's certainly pulled off a belter with these Northern Lights cars. I mean, all of their machines that they've got this season look brilliant, so hats off to them all.
Looking from the chopper here in a great perspective as we go through the S's. Left, right, left and right again. And you can see, actually, that Jamie Fluke is pretty good through there. He's put a little bit of distance between himself and Foggy there. Good 0.4 of a second as they now go up to the Oak Tree Bend.
Just shows you as well how much of a thin circuit it is. It's almost like Alton Park in terms of how narrow the whole track is, and There's no big runoff areas anywhere. It's all just grass. It's really quite unforgiving, but that's it's the nature of the beast at Virginia, isn't it?
And even though it looks like it's okay grass, for some reason on iRacing the grass here is like sheet ice. You just go straight on and can't really do anything about it. But Jamie Rushworth's trying to do something, trying to get past Wojciech Svidovic. Oh, that is very close indeed as we go up to the roller coaster section. And the CQR car cannot get through. It seems a bit of a stalemate for now as we've just got over 8.5 minutes to play here as we go into the final corner.
Yeah, it's one of them tracks where you've got to pick your battles really, not just because of the people that you're racing with, but just the fact that if you go to make a move, then you could lose out to the guy behind you, and especially when you're in a train like these guys are in, you just can't be risking it. You may as well stick in the sort of top 5 or top 6 like these boys are, and get the points on the board in the first race, because you may struggle to get through the field later on in the night. So it's all about being strategic in championships like this. I know it's a really long season, but every race counts. So yeah. They've just got to make the most of it, haven't they?
If you're new to the BSRTC, the season started in March, and we go all the way through to mid-November to decide the title. Plus, we have a showdown as well. Looking at this great battle that's going on for about 15th place on back, 13th place on back according to the graphic. We're looking at Stephen Baxter. That's Brian Holmes behind us, getting a bit close for comfort. Then you got Christian Rose. And you got Michael Hall as well. But we've got to move away from this battle because there's something going on further up in front. This is... Oh, blown engine. Svidovic is going no further today. We just cut to it. He is done. And what a disaster for Svidovic, because he always seemed to have internet issues in the early part of the season. Now he's blown an engine, Chaz.
It's just going from bad to worse for him, isn't it? Absolutely bad to worse. It's just... It's one of them where you've done it then and that's it. You've got no way of coming back from it. It's one of the most frustrating things you can do on iRacing, especially at such a high level of competition.
Well, what this now means is that it's a battle between Rushworth and Fluke for the final spot on the podium here. Fluke trying to capitalise. Oh, he's surely not going to make the corner. He does.
Oh, he does a good job there.
Yeah, fantastic job by Jamie Fluke to get himself up into third position and take over from where Svidovic left it. But what this has meant now is that it's now a battle for the lead between just 2 cars. This is Sven Glatzel versus Jack Sedgwick here. Jack Sedgwick driving for Bodag. Sven Glatzel driving for the Northern Lights Racing GT Omega team with 6.5 minutes to go here. And unless Jamie Fluke can start to put in the laps, it looks like it's going to be a battle between these two for the win.
Yeah, these boys have been the class of it so far. I mean, Sven, I think, is probably playing, like I was saying before, the strategic game on this one. Just following Jack and just seeing what he can do and seeing where Jack's quicker. And then he may try and do it in the final few laps. Either that, or he'll just be happy to take second. As we've got, is that Foggy and Rushworth side by side here. Foggy doing a bit of grass tracking and curb hopping. And it's really close to quarter panel. It makes contact, but that's the beauty of the front-wheel drive car. You can just plant it and keep your foot in. Jason Plato being the king of showing us that as nearly gets even messier there just through those little S's. But
yeah,
mad, absolutely mad these lot are. But if they've all kept it on the track though, so fair play to them. It just shows the talent that we're looking at here.
Everett getting pushed all over the place. Yeah, it's the trademark BSRTC, maybe even trademark touring car move. Just that little nudge on the quarter panel, and through they went. So that's Rushworth now down to 5th position. At one point, it looked like he was going to be the one to capitalise and get on the podium. The Season 4 champion of the BSRTC. Won the title. Season 4 was back in the early part of 2014. 4 years later. It doesn't feel like that amount of time that we've been broadcasting the BSRTC here on Apex Racing TV. But there you go. Just behind Rushworth. It's getting close between Stuart McFadden, who's had a very good race so far. 3 positions gained. This could be about to be reduced to 2, though, because Alex Everett, who got forced out earlier in the lap, is all over the back of the CQR Academy car. We've got a nice train forming here as well, because you can see Baker and Hackerson and Howard and Blackhall also in there.
Yeah, it's a good list of names. That are absolute legends amongst the folk who drive the Kias on iRacing. It's just great to see Stu doing so well, because in recent times, Stu's been quick all along. We've always seen, no matter what series he's in, he's rapid. But his immaturity showed on track, I think, sometimes in his inexperience. But he seems to have reined it in this season, and he's just showing everyone what he's made of. I mean, towards the end of last season's World GT Championship, he was just an absolute demon on track. You just didn't want him behind you because, well, you knew that he wouldn't be there for long. Well, because in recent times, Great shot here on board with the door, just following, just showing you literally again how much of a narrow track this is. You can just put 2 wheels off the edge a little bit now and then, and it might not cost you much, but it's just you've got to just take one line. You've got no options here really. It's not like many tracks that you see on the calendar where you could take optimal lines to get a run on someone on an exit or try and dive down the inside. It's just you've got to be absolutely on it all the time here and just be really careful. Great shot here on board with the door, just following, just showing you literally again how much. Oh, he's a bit wide on that apex there, but that just proves the point that you've got to make sure your turning is always absolutely spot on here. And it looks like Fluke's really caught up with these pair here, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah, I said he had to put the hammer down, and now it looks like he's done that. I have turned the engine sounds up, so if the engine sounds have been a bit quiet, I've cranked the volume up on that now, so it doesn't help that the cameras are very far away too. But here comes Jamie Fluke. He's not wasting any time here, is he? He wants that second place. Sven Glatzel's got to defend the inside for the roller coaster section, but Fluke just drives around him. Surely he can't make the corner.
No, that was way too late on the brakes. Way too late on the brakes there. He tried it, but hopefully he doesn't get too much of a slowdown for going across there. I'm not sure what the slowdown's like on this track. Like I say, I've only had it about 15-20 minutes, so we'll have to see how he gets on. But he'll have dirty tyres there as well, so he just needs to be really careful about Nickel Foggy behind him. We know Nickel will capitalise on any opportunity he gets.
Well, the good news for him is that this isn't lap 1 of the race. If it was lap 1, he'd be in deep trouble. But now that he's put a good few laps underneath him, the slowdown shouldn't be that heavy. Right, here comes Nickel Foggy then. He now wants to go for a spot on the podium. Fluke covers the inside line. It's so difficult to get a move done around the outside there. And as you can see, he's had to slot back into 4th position. A good battle going on there. Further down the field, you can see CQR Club versus CQR Academy. This is Michael Hall versus Christian Rose. Christian Rose has lost 1 position in this race so far as we get the position gains up on the timing screen towards the end of the race. Michael Hall's gained 2. Behind them, problem for Dave Baker. Oh no, yeah, problem for Dave Baker. He's disappeared.
Yeah, he's just started dropping down the order a bit. There's people moving about all over the place here.
Yeah, that's just me. Doesn't have
Dave's
scenic.
definitely.
There we go. Dave Baker's definitely vanished. So that's not good in terms.
No, definitely not.
In terms of his championship aspirations. I know it's very early in the going here, but as I just take a quick look at the standings, as we've got 90 seconds to go in this one. He only had a 34-point lead over Stephen Baxter, and Baxter sat in 13th place here. So you can expect that he's probably going to overtake him here in the opening race of the day if things stay like that. And he'll be starting at the back of the grid as well for the second race. I think he's returned though. I think he has returned. There he is. He sat in 10th position. So whatever happened there, maybe it was just a little bit of an S-bar or something like that. And he's now back in the action. You can see though, just in front of Baker, that Hackerson is having to defend from Harrod, who's been very good recently. And just in front of them, Stuart McFadden and Alex Everett continue their war for positions there. But out of the final corner, and as you can see from the time, we're going to start the final lap of the race here.
Just looking back at the biggest movers again as well. Josh Thompson's actually gone up 24 places now to 21st, so that even further highlights what we were saying before about not many series you can say you've had that many places and still be in 21st place. But with a grid like this, a top 20 result is what you aim for, so I'm sure Josh will be happy with that. Mark Johnston's actually gone up 24 places as well, and Nathan Davis has gone up 23, so fair play to them guys. And also Lorne Murray, 20 places gained. The biggest movers again as well.
Final half a lap of the race then.
Seems like quite a difficult track to pull a big gap out on as well, because you've got those straights with quite a strong slipstream in them. So it's one where if you just lose people a little bit through the S's like these guys try up here now, it just sort of negates it all when you get back onto the straight, providing that they've got a good enough run, doesn't it?
Let's go back to the front then. Half a lap to go. And let's see if Sven Glatzel can get anything. The gap's about half a second, so unless anything happens late on, then don't think he's going to get there. Over the top of the hill then into the roller coaster section. No way through unless there's going to be a drag race to the line. I think it's going to be very difficult for Sven Glatzel to get the win here. 2 corners to go. And it looks like Jack Sedgwick's going to do it. Bozak Racing are going to get a win here as we come up to the checkered flag. Great job by Jack Sedgwick. In the opening race, he wins here at Virginia International Raceway. Sven Glatzel finishes in seconds. Jamie Fluke, he had the chance to go for the win. He gave it his all, but he has to settle for 3rd place in the end. And 4th for Nicole Foggy. Jamie Rushworth in 5th. Stuart McFadden 6th. Alex Everett 7th. Ben Hackerson 8th. Pete Harrod 9th. And Dave Baker in 10th.
Belting race, that just shows that even on a tight track like this, where I've heard people say that overtaking is very difficult, it was still subject to many battles, and people still giving it a go, aren't they?
All over the field there's been battles. Biggest movers coming over the line. Josh Thompson, we checked in with him earlier. He finished in 24th. 21st, sorry. Mark Johnston finished in 27th place in the end. He gained 24 positions as well. Then Nathan Davis and Lorne Murray too. Some big gainers there. Ash Sutton, I don't think actually he finished. He finished in 53rd place in the end. We'll have the classified results in a moment, plus the reverse grid. So make sure you stick around for that, because you think the action so far has been entertaining. It's going to get even better when we get the reverse grid in a moment. And what a great opening race of the day. We're still waiting for a few cars to come across the line, I think. Let's go down the order and see who is. Laura Bond's just come across the line to finish in 46th place. I think the last one we're waiting for is Simon Edwards, who's in 49th. Out the final corner he goes. He gets 49th position. I think that is everybody. Right then, let's run you through the finishing order from the opening race of the day. Then here in the BSRTC, reverse grid to come in a moment as well. And once again, forgive the whole Ritmatech Sports Car Series thing. Right, it looks like I haven't got the results up, probably because I haven't got the data, the event thing in. So I'll have to read them off the timing screen and pray that they are right. We'll get this sorted for race 2. Jack Sedgwick wins then. 2nd for Sven Glatzel. 3rd Jamie Fluke. 4th Nicole Foggy. 5th is Jamie Rushworth. 6th Stuart McFadden. 7th Alex Everett. 8th for Ben Hackerson. 9th Pete Harrod. 10th place for Dave Baker. 11th for Jake Blackhall. 12th Pete Newman. 13th Stephen Baxter. 14th Rusty Laidler. 15th place for Brian Holmes. Then Michael Hall 16th. 17th Christian Rose. 18th Alex Simpson. Then 19th Anwar Smith and 20th for Adam Hadfield. Josh Thompson finished in 21st place in the end. Chris Wood in 22nd. 23rd is Martin Front. Then 24th Adam Delmont. Then 25th Craig Williams. 26th Matt Keeber. Then Mark Johnston 27th. 28th for Max Wright. 29th for Jack McIntyre, and 30th place for Nathan Davis. Good drive there by Nathan as well. He gained 22 positions to finish in the top 30. Maybe rewarded with a good spot in the reverse grid. Mark Woodhouse 31st, 32nd for Maciek Sakovic, who had issues earlier on the opening lap of the race. Then Lorne Murray in 33rd, 21 positions gained. Good job. Then Tristan Bodis in 34th. Craig Evans 35th. 36th for Nick Madsen. 37th Colin Cunniff. 38th Rob Graham, 39th Julian Janowski, and 40th for Ross McFarlane. Ben Mears in 41st, 42nd for Kip Stevens, 43rd for Scott Malcolm. Then we've got Lee Demo in 44th, Dave Crozier in 45th, Laura Bond in 46th place, Dan Brown in 47th, Paul Smith in 48th, Simon Edwards 49th, Carly Anson not doing too well here. He'll be starting at the back of the grid in race 2. Jackie Losserman in 51st, Wojciech Svidovic blown engine, finished in 52nd. Then 53rd place for Ash Sutton. Then 54th for Michael Blake, and finishing in last is Adam McNally, but I don't think he actually got going. Right then, time to get the reverse grid then for the opening for the second race, and I'm just praying that I've actually got it, because I did go through a clean of the of my computer the last few days, so I hope I do have it to hand. I do have it to hand, but it'll just take a while for me to get it extracted. There's the folder. Just need to send it to documents, and then we'll get it up and running, and we'll set the reverse grid for the second race of the day. Stuart McFadden saying good job to Alex. Those two were close in the field. We saw those two dueling earlier on. And
got to place your bets now on what this reverse grid's going to be. We've got a good mix of quicker drivers that finished a bit further down there, so we'll have to see what we can get.
That is the wrong screen. I've got the reverse grid wheel. Send it to display number 3. There we go. There we go. Right, here we go. There, you see it. There it is. And you should get some sounds, so touch wood. Here we go. First reverse grid of the day.
That was me touching wood.
Right, here we go. Full -4 then. It's the biggest we could get, and it's yeah, full -4, and that is I don't actually know who that is. I might have to get slightly unprofessional here and drag up.
I think it's going to be Daniel Brown in 47th place, because it's people that were on the lead lap or one lap down, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so -4 will be Daniel Brown, who finished in 47th, with Laura Bond second, Dave Crozier third, and Lee Deemer in 4th.
Well, I've just got the official results up here. Sorry, everybody, that you're seeing this. Usually I have Andrew Woodhouse here that gets the official word in, but that's full if it's Simon Edwards, -1 Paul Smith, -2 Dan Brown, -3 Laura Bond. Dave Crozier is the full -4. So
there we go then.
It's Dave Crozier on the pole, Deemer second, Malcolm third, Stevens fourth, Mears in 5th. So, right, we've got some amendments to make over the break, and when we see you in a few minutes, we'll be getting set for the second race of the day here at Virginia International Raceway. Don't go anywhere.
Seems like we've lost Adam there.
Oh,
He's just gone really quiet. Oh, there he is.
There we go. Notice we hadn't switched the sounds on at all. Welcome back to the BSRTC here on Apex Racing TV. Adam Barfield with Chaz Draycott. We're on the grid. Hopefully you can hear the noise of the Kia Optimas. We've got Crozier, then we've got Dima, Malcolm, Stevens, Mias, McFarlane, Janowski, Graham, Cunniff, Madsen, McLeod Evans and Tristan Bodis. That is how the grid, the top 12 lines up. Now you can hear the noise as the lights begin to come on. Oh, someone's jumped the start in a big way. And away we go. Great start by Bodis. Sorry, Crozier. It's free wide into the first corner. Who's that up the middle? It's Scott Malcolm. Contact. You can hear it. Fingers crossed everybody gets through okay. The camera angle is a pretty tight one here, but there we go. We've got a bit of a wider angle. See a few cars off in the background, and what a start from Scott Malcolm. That was off. It's McFarlane.
And Crozier's off, race leader.
Dave Crozier's off as well. Let me find him on that. I'm trying, but Scott Malcolm, he leads. Unbelievable. Right, let's rewind back a few seconds and have a look, because I didn't see that, and Dave Crozier, he's had to tow back to the pits. He's done. What a disaster that is for Dave Crozier.
Seems like he just got two wheels on the grass out of turn 2, and he just got a wobble on, and it just went into the wall for him, unfortunately. Well, Scott Malcolm leads the way in the Automat car. He's got Lee Dima behind him, Kip Stevens, Julian Janowski, Nick Madsen. Craig McLeod Evans is up 5 places as well. Lorne Morris up 6 places. Nathan Davis up 8 places to 8 places as well. So a few guys making the most of these people that are going off at the front.
Down the back straight then for the first time. Over the top of the hill into the roller coaster section. And we're looking here at Nick Madsen, who sits in 5th position. You can see Scott Malcolm has got Lee Dima for company. Automech Not Kill versus Sim Ortal. Dima, who's had a okay season so far, and Kip Stevens up in 3rd position as well. He's had a fantastic start to the race here, and he's off Malcolm.
Oh, Malcolm's wide.
And through goes Lee Dima. He didn't need a second invitation there, did he? Scott Malcolm now down to 3rd position. Sorry, Kip Stevens now up into 3rd position. Malcolm trying to fight back here as he come across the line. We're on board with Sabina, with Kip Stevens going into turn 1. Oh,
there's a headlight in
someone was
the back far end there. Janowski. Around the outside, nicely done. But Kip Stevens comes back at him though. Oh, gives him a bit of a quarter panel. He's going to save it. Some of the guys behind, well, is that Sven Glatzel making his way through? It's not, is it? It's a different numbered car, sorry. I thought it said 113 on the side of it. It's Craig McLeod Evans making his way through there.
Yeah, Craig Evans up to 4th position. There he is, up 7 positions. Fantastic stuff from him. Nathan Davis, who we were just looking at, putting a move on Nick Madsen. He's up into 6th position as well. So, great drive so far from the Apex Racing car. He did a great job in race 1 to gain 20 or so places. He's doing the same here in race 2. He's gained 10 already. And he's within striking distance of the top 5 here. As Madsen goes off.
Making stride. Oh, he is off, yeah. There he goes. And the number 36 car of Lorne Murray sneaks through.
Automech Not Kill. And of course, if you have wondered whether you've seen this Scott Malcolm livery before, it's the livery that Rory Butcher uses in the British Touring Car Championship. We did get to speak to him at Donington Park. He's very happy with what's going on. He's looking forward to Not Kill in the summer. So are we. The TCR UK Series was racing there last week on the reverse layout of the track. Something I haven't done. But we're here at Virginia anyway, and Nick Madsen looks like he's just got past Lorne Murray. Madsen hasn't got a Bodak livery on the car. Oh, he has. It's just that it's in bright yellow, and I couldn't tell that said Bodak on the car. But yeah, he's Jack Sedgwick's teammate, who, if you have only just joined us, won the opening race of the day. And let's get the timing. Let's get the the timing tower up for you, because we haven't had that up so far in the race. You can see that all the positions gained there, and you don't need me to tell you it now. You can see that Nathan Davis has gained 10 positions so far. You can see Thompson with the THO in 13th place has gained 12 places, and Hal in 18th place. That is Michael Hall, and you can see there, this is the battle for 14th place, and he could be about to gain some more places here as he tries to get past. That is Craig Williams in the all-black Pro Sim car.
Just looking down the order as well. Race 1 winner Jack Sedgwick is up 17 places to 28th, and he's just on the fastest lap of the race at 154.15. He's quite a bit quicker than the guys around him as well. So I'm sure, well, he's just made another place of Stuart McFadden apparently on the timing screen. So he's climbing up places before I can even say it properly.
Yeah, doing pretty well. Riding on board here, as you can see, with Michael Hall. Great view of the S's here, and great great view of Williams in front, as you can see the different lines that are getting taken here, and Williams taking an awful lot of curb there as he hunts down Adam Hadfield. And we're now switched to the onboard of Williams here through the Oak Tree Bend. Sorry, it's Hadfield we're looking at here in the Simorsal car. And who's that that's running a bit wide in front? That looks like it was Martin Front in the sorry, it was Mark Johnston, wasn't it, in the no, it was Josh Thompson. There we go, got there in the end.
Yep.
Oh,
3 wide, that's not going to end well.
That was the Simorsal car, the 51 of Johnston colliding with what looked like Thompson. Over the top of the hill we go into the roller coaster section. This has got not going well written all over it, and there you go.
Oh, yep, there he goes.
Now that was Martin. That was car 57. Yeah, it was Martin Front, and that's not gone at all well.
I don't know if there was much they could have done there. Really, it seems to be just bouncing around into each other a bit. It's a very tight section to go too wide round, so unfortunately I think that was always going to happen, I'm afraid. If we look at Lee Deemer, we're starting to run away with it. He's got just under a second lead at the moment as they cross the line from Scott Malcolm. Kip Stevens is chasing him down still, so he's not managed to get the move done yet. So we've always seen that Scott's good at defending, though. He's always been one of those feisty drivers on track. No matter where you are, what position you're battling for, he'll always put up a good fight with Scott. So it's great to see that he's proving that still.
Looking back from Scott Malcolm, that was what I was after. Automech not kill car with the Scottish flag. 1 second behind our race leader Lee Deemer at the moment. Kip Stevens just 0.2 of a second behind. See if Kip can get close through the S's. Oh, you can tell there that is Stevens closing right up, and he's got him right where he needs to be here. And look, watch out for Janowski as well. You can see him poking his nose up the inside as we go into the Oak Tree Bend. Stevens has to watch out for him as well. Right, through the Oak Tree Bend, a great exit by Janowski there. You can see him clip the apex beautifully, and now we're going to build up through the speed and get the slipstream as well as we come up to the roller coaster section. And it looks like Janowski could be about to put a move on here as we go over the top of the hill. Here comes the boosted car.
Very distinct livery on these boosted cars. I always say Andrew Whitehead does a gorgeous job of these, and it looks great. He's late on the brakes, and he's made it.
Perfection.
Great job there.
Perfection from Julian Janowski up into the podium positions. The Bulgarian driving for boosted. And it's going fantastically well for him. See if he can get to Scott Malcolm now. He's managed to dispose of one car. That's 4 positions gain now for Janowski. See if he can make it 5 by getting past Scott Malcolm. Let's run him through. Let's go back through the field because we've got a good battle here between Tristan Bodis, who looks like he's made a mistake coming out of the final corner, and the likes of Laidler, McFarlane, Packerson and Baxter too. Maybe even be a slowdown for Bodis because he hasn't got back up to racing speed yet, but might be doing that now. If looking in the background, this is Baxter, this is Hackerson, this is Sedgwick as well, our race 1 winner. A bit of a lock up there, and this allows Sedgwick in the Bodak car to get up the inside. He's in 23rd position, 22 positions gained. Doesn't take a smoke in the background.
Yeah, there was a car around there as well. I think it might have been a CQR car. I'm just going to check and see who's going down the order.
That's Rushworth.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to say Jamie Rushworth's going down. Christian Rose seems to be going down the order as well.
Yeah, those two collided. In fact, it was 3 CQR cars that all got in a bit of a mess. Don't worry, Lee Deemer's definitely not out of the race. It's just because I can't show too many cars on the track at the same time. There we go. And this is Scott Malcolm. Janowski, you can see, he's already got by. We'll get a replay of that in a moment. And now Scott Malcolm's having to defend for Kip Stevens. And who's that behind as well? That's Lorne Murray. Right, let's see if I can quickly find what happened to allow Janowski to get by Scott Malcolm for 2nd position.
Side by side there in the background between Madsen and Lorne Murray. have to see on the timing screen who brings out the brings the bacon home with that one. Seems like Madsen's staying ahead so far. Yeah, I think Lorne's lost a bit of time to him there actually. Really good effort so far from Scott Malcolm to stay in the top 3.
Apologies, I don't think we'll be able to get it, but yeah, good job by Scott Malcolm.
Oh.
What's happened?
He's got past Dima. Dima's slowing down on the straight. I'm not sure whether he made a mistake or whether he got a slowdown from something in that last section, but he was a lot slower than Scott there, and Scott's back in second place now.
Right, you just saw it, but then I rewinded back another 10 seconds, so you'll see it in a minute. This is what happened to Lee Dima. He was our race leader, let's not forget. And now Julian Janowski leads. Right, this is what happened then. Through the roller coaster section. Oh, he clips the inside curve and takes too much speed and goes off. Through the grass and through goes into the lead Julian Janowski. Through into second place goes Scott Malcolm. And Dima, after all that, emerges in third position. So drama here. And yeah, Julian Janowski now leads for Boosted.
Great driving by Julian so far. He's always been one of those drivers that's been up there in the Kia, but he's I mean, it's my personal opinion, so no offence to him, but he's never been one of the most notable of drivers in this car. So it's good to see that even after all this time, knowing of him on the iRacing service, he's still doing it. So fair play to Julian. Hopefully he can hold on to that, because he's gained 6 places to get to the front so far. So it'll be a nice way to cap off a great race. Bit of a Paris-Dakar there from Lee Dima, bouncing over the gravel.
It's a really good battle actually. We've got, as you can see on the graphic, we've got second down to 7th, separated by just a few tenths of a second. It's all line astern here. One part of this battle looks particularly close. In fact, actually, let's move a bit further back, because Michael Hall is battling away with Adam Hadfield, and you can see he's got the job done already. And just behind, Mark Johnston and an Automech car in there. That's Max Wright. Oh, we've already seen one car go off there today in Martin Front. Fortunately, those two get through it unscathed, but it's still two wheel to wheel here going into the final corner. Contact made, and off he goes. There goes Mark Johnston. Oh, it's Mark Johnston again, isn't it? He was the car that was off in the roller coaster section earlier, isn't it? Wasn't he? So, yeah. Problem there. Madsen dropping down the timing screen. I hope that's just not a problem with me. Touch wood.
Yeah, it just seemed like, I was just going to say, it looked like a little bit of netcode there in the Johnson incident though, because they were side by side, and I think it just looked like it was about sort of 6 inches to a foot between the two cars when they went around, so I'm not sure whether it was a bounce over a curb, sort of set something off within the server. I just saw Madsen in that accident then across the straight. Yeah,
I think he might have got DQ'd here, you know. This is what happened. Oh, hello. That's a... Now...
It looks like Malcolm goes to defend, and then once the cars are together, they just stick together and off he goes.
Now, I don't know what may have taken place prior to that, but moving about on the straight, I don't know. It
didn't look great.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know whether something may have happened, but to ruffle Scott Malcolm's feathers. But yeah, quarter pound down the straight. I think that might get taken up with the stewards, and Madsen won't be at all happy. Right then, lap 7 of
Sorry, I was going to say, guy to watch here as we look at him now is Josh Thompson. He's gone up 20 places, now 21, passing Lorne Murray up to 4th place. If he can keep this up and manage to get in these last 4 laps, manage to get past these guys, or even just catch Julian Janowski, this is going to be a hell of a finish. The guys in front are battling as well. That's Dima and Stevens.
Yeah.
So this is just going to help Josh Thompson, if I can say his name properly, out even more.
Yeah, let's have a look at the front, because Stevens and Dima battling for the runners-up spot at the moment. You can see Stevens in front, driving for the Pro Sim team, formerly Sim Racer Magazine, formerly New Homes Digital, formerly quite a few team names as they come across the line. Start lap 8 of 11 here. Stevens looking to the inside, going into the first corner. Thompson going to the outside. He could get 1. Don't think he can get 2. Stevens is still there. Stevens might even fancy his chances of getting Dima here. That is very close to contact. Last time around...
Sorry, what, mate?
I was just going to say, last time around, Thompson, as you can see on the graphic, did a new personal best. He's a man on a mission here. He's 1 place away from a podium and 2 places away from the runners-up spot, as Dima takes a very defensive line, opens himself up to attack, and opens himself up to contact. That was always going to happen. And that could be a slowdown for Dima, because he did take all four wheels off the circuit. But look at him, he's not giving up here, is he? Defends from Stevens.
Yeah, they're going to be kissing wing mirrors all the way through these S's, I think. Stevens does the wise thing, gets out of it a little bit, lets Dima go ahead, hoping just... There's a bit of a ricochet effect on this, because if you just turn right a little bit late and then the left-hander, you're going to run wide. Stevens back down the inside, more contact, puts him on the grass. I think he's gone around. George Thompson's going to capitalise on that the most. Dima does a good job of getting it out of the way in the background, and Thompson, yeah, he's through up into second now, 23 positions gained. It's a shame that had to happen with Dima, but like we were saying before, it's a very narrow track, and it happens a lot here.
It's a bit of a nudge. Some would say that's typical touring cars, but it is a shame for Dima, because he's now, as you can see on the summary screen, down in 18th place.
He did well keeping it out of the way, though. Fair play to him on that one. We could have seen a really nasty accident there, but unfortunately we didn't.
Sorry, I'm just getting attacked by a moth. Right, right, it's now officially a boosted 1-2. Josh Thompson may have the Radicals livery on the car, but he is officially a boosted driver, and they're currently on for a 1-2 here with Stevens in third, fourth is Murray, fifth Malcolm, so two Automex drivers doing well there, then Davis in sixth, seventh, oh it was Davis in sixth, go away, as Malcolm, as Hall and Davis go wheel to wheel over the battle for sixth position.
I'm just doing my usual of looking down the field to see who's the biggest movers. I mean, we've got Josh Thompson up there, 23 places gained. Michael Hall is in 6th with 24 positions gained. Then you've got the likes of Jack Sedgwick's gone up 30 places to 15th. Ashley Sutton's gone up 33 places to 20th. Jamie Fluke's done 26 places. Ben Hackinson's 24. Wojciech Savidovic 27. This is the beauty of these reverse grids. People are on absolute missions trying to get some points in this meeting.
We have not talked at all about Ash Sutton. And look at this. It's insane.
That's a hell of a train.
This is one hell of a train. This starts with Dave Baker, Sutton's teammate. Oh no, Malcolm's dropping down the order. Now what happened here? Now we just saw a clip of it there. Right, this is Malcolm defending from Michael Hall. Oh, he gets offline. He goes across grass trekking, comes back on, collides with Hall. Oh, he does tag the wall, doesn't he?
Yeah, it just sends it around. It was. Well, I don't think there was much Michael could have done to avoid the contact there. I think once Scott was bouncing back onto the track, there wasn't much either of them could do really. And unfortunately, the back end of these keys is quite heavy and quite influential on the front when you bounce into them like that. So lucky both of them didn't go around there really, but a real shame for Scott Malcolm because he's put in a stellar effort so far. But he's going to get swallowed up by this train now. I'm sure when this cuts to the next camera, it'll look mental. Look at that.
Yeah, this is the opening of the floodgates, really. Here comes Baker. He could be the first of many to capitalise, but you know that Malcolm will make sure he defends right to the last here. Over the top of the hill, car 5, Dave Baker goes through, and it's too wide behind him. You can see there we've got Sutton and Johnston in the mix. Credit to Mark Johnston because he's had all sorts go on today, but he's still hanging in there in the top 20. How close?
And Scott's off.
He's gone. I looked away for 1 second, and that's a disaster.
I think there was contact with Sutton there. I think just as they overlapped, as they went through the roller coaster section, there was just a bit of a rub on the rear bumper, and it just upsets the car, and round it goes. And then as soon as you clip the grass on here, it's like ice, and you just off into the trees.
Sutton then up to 18th place, 35 positions gained. Jack Sedgwick in 14th place is almost as good as that. He could almost match it. He's gained 31 places, and he's in another of the many trains that we've got here. A CQR Academy car of a Laidler gets up the inside of Kiba, going into the into the complex. Of Andrew Woodhouse here would have been thinking of many rhymes there. As we go up to the the S's section again. Now we're on the penultimate lap of the race, as you can see on the lap counter on the top left of the screen. Laidler gets a bit offline there as he defends from the Northern Lights Racing GT Omega car of Ross McFarlane.
Doing a great job of defending though. Even though he was offline going into it, he did a really good job of bringing it back on and then still maintaining the momentum for the next right. So it's good car control from Laidler there to show how to keep it persistent.
You can see from the stripes, green is for the Pro-Ams, and blue is for the pros. And you can see we've got 2 Pro-Ams there inside the top 10 in McLeod, Evans and Kiba. You can see on the lap tower as well that the highest AM driver is Lorne Murray, who currently sits in 3rd position. That's a stellar job in race 2 by Lorne Murray. And in a moment we're going to be coming around to start the final lap as Julian Janowski looks set to make it a boosted 1-2. But Lorne Murray could be a fly in the ointment here because, actually no he can't, because he's under pressure from Kip Stevens. That's what's going on here as we come across the line. White flag is in the air. And Kip Stevens fancies a podium here, and it will break Lorne Murray's heart because he's been doing so well. Pro-Am driver doesn't often get a podium in the BSRTC, but he's defending with all his worth here as we're on the final lap of the race.
Yeah, he's put a really good effort in this meeting so far. He's just been consistent, and that's all you've got to do on this track. You've just got to not let anything get to you. As Kip Stevens goes down the inside, Lorne comes in.
And has to take.
He's gone across. Not sure whether he's going to get a slowdown for that or not, but I don't know whether who to sort of pin that on. Unfortunately, it was one of the that's Nathan Davis, isn't it? Just avoiding him there as he comes back on the track.
So we'll look at the replay.
Great angle of it
on the inside.
Yes. Stevens goes down the inside. I'd say he had a fair overlap there. I think Lorne just didn't give him enough room, unfortunately. It's cost him dear there. Nathan Davis again with that fantastic slamming on of the anchors to keep it out the back of Lorne Murray's car there. Fair play to him as well.
Yeah, that's Davis up to 5th position now, so he's gained 11 positions. Michael Hall's gained 26. Josh Thompson's gained 23. So as you can see there on the lap counts, huge gains, and this is a circuit that lends itself to overtaking. We haven't been to many recently, so it's good to see. Right, let's cut to our race leader. There he is, Julian Janowski, 6 positions gained. T2's had a race full of overtakes, and he now finds himself in the lead. Some may say fortuitous after what happened to Lee Deemer after making a mistake in the final corner, but I'm sure he won't mind one bit here as he negotiates the final corner. First win of the day went to Bodak and Jack Sedgwick. It's a new order here, really, isn't it? No CQR, no Apex wins so far, and race 2 of the day goes to Boosted and to Julian Janowski, and it's going to be a 1-2 as well, with Josh Thompson coming across the line to take 2nd. 3rd place for Kip Stevens. He gets a well-deserved podium. Michael Hall just beats Lorne Murray at the line, I believe, and then it's Davis, Hadfield, Wright, Evans, Laidler. Where's Sutton? Here he is. He comes across the line in 18th place, 35 positions gained. Some of you may be amazed, but he gained more than that at Phillip Island a few weeks ago. I think he gained about 50-something positions, then ends up winning.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll ever be repeated, but yeah, what a job. Another fantastic drive from Ash Sutton to get to 18th place as the rest of the cars stream across the line.
Another good race though, filled with overtakes, a lot of contact, a lot of door-to-door stuff, sometimes causing accidents bigger than we'd like to see, but it's just an amazing track really for this, isn't it? I've never really paid much attention to Virginia before, but it's proven to me that it's something to definitely look at racing on in future. Yeah,
put it on the World GC calendar. I know that's already been announced, but
I'll have to poke Matt Bunn in the ribs and see what we can do on that one.
There you go. Right, I think we've still got a few cars to come across the line, you know. Let's see who we've got that might still be circulating around the circuit. No, they're all done. No, they're all done. They're now finished. So let's bring you up the finishing order. We will be able to show the results now because we've got the right project file. And there we go. I know it says Motegi, but ignore that. Janowski then wins. The Bulgarian national anthem will be getting played on the iRacing podium somewhere. Josh Thompson finishes in 2nd, 1.4 seconds behind, and Kip Stevens in 3rd position. I'm sure Andrew Whitehead will be absolutely delighted with that one. Michael Hall finishing in 4th. Yeah, somewhere Paul Smith just died inside somewhere. Lorne Murray in 5th, highest Pro-Am. It was going to be a podium until Kip Stevens decided to get in on the act. I don't know what will take place in terms of that. It was a bit close, but I think there might just have been a bit of a gap. Nathan Davis finishing in 6th, the Welshman there. 7th, Adam Hadfield. 8th for Max Wright. 9th for Craig Evans. And then 10th for Rusty Laidler. 11th for Ross McFarlane in the Northern Lights Racing GTM Mega Car. You can see there, 10 seconds covering the top 10 drivers. 12th, Matt Keeber, Pro-Am driver there in the Immortal car. Then Ben Hackerson, Jack Sedgwick in 14th, Jamie Fluke in 15th. 16th for Stuart McFadden, Dave Baker 17th place. Good job there from Dave, considering he started towards the rear of the field after what happened in race 1. 35 positions gained for Ash Sutton to finish in 18th place. Moving down the rest of the field, then 19th Mark Johnston. He finished where he started, which is an achievement in itself because he was all over the place in terms of getting caught up in incidents, getting quarter panelled here, there and everywhere really whenever we were on him. And it's 2 Northern Lights Racing GTM Mega cars, Baxter and Glatzel. Then Wojciech Svidovic, car 1, blown engine in race 1, but he managed to gain 30 positions to finish in 22nd place. And if we do get a full, you cannot rule him out with a shot of winning the final race of the day. Pete Newman in 23rd, Alex Simpson 24th, 25th for Tristan Bottis. Then we've got 2 pro drivers there in Jake Blackhall, the Australian, and Nicole Foggy, and the Swede, Carly Hansen. Dan Brown in 29th and 30th for Adam McNally. Then Scott Malcolm, Jamie Rushworth in the mix with a few of the Seacar Academy cars. That's why he dropped down the order there to 32nd place. Then 33rd is Michael Blake, 34th Mark Woodhouse, Paul Smith, the Yorkshireman, in 35th. Then Simon Edwards in 36th for ProSim. And then the rest of the field, Pete Harrod, Chris Wood, Laura Bond, Anwar Smith, Maciek Sakovic, Rob Graham, Alex Everett, Lee Deemer, Christian Rose, and Adam Delmont, Nick Madsen, Jack McIntyre, Martin Front, 8 laps down, Dave Crozier, 10 laps down. Well, a shame for him. He started on the pole and got about through around 2 corners. It's not the first time that's happened. In fact, I don't want to name and shame Sharon Kaiser, but he ended up spinning out of the lead after a safety car had been thrown in that again. And then Colin Cunniff, Brian Holmes and Colin Cunniff towards the bottom of the field, and of course Nick Madsen in there. Should remind people of what happened on the front straight, and it's kicking off on the YouTube chat. But hopefully I can throw some water on these fires by delivering Stuart McFadden and Jamie Fluke a reverse grid that they will hope goes their way. Right, Chaz, if you get your official iRacing timing up on the sim, just so we don't ruin it for anybody that is entitled to a reverse grid, we'll work out who's going to be on pole for this final race. There's a reverse grid. I haven't done anything to it. I'm doing the whole Clarkson mantra here from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I haven't changed anything. I haven't got a button here that says put Ash Sutton or put Alex Simpson on pole. Completely random, and we're going to spin the wheel now and see who's going to get on the poles. So here we go. Sorry, I just went off it there for a second. Oh, hello. This could be a big one. And it is. 50 cars. So, Chaz, who does that put on the pole then if we have a 50?
I'm just trying to have a look, actually, because my Sims just kicked me out of the session, typically. So this is a night of technical issues. From what I'm looking at on the timing app, I think Benjamin Mears was the last car that was on the lead lap, because he was 1 minute and 15 down. And then after that, we've got Rob Graham and Alex Everett that say they're 21 and 24 seconds down. So I'm pretty sure that it would be Benjamin Mears on pole position. If not, and I'm really sorry, everyone, but it could be Alex Everett. So, if I'm honest, we'll have to just wait and see, I think.
Sorry, I've gone all unprofessional again, and I've got the sim open up on the screen. It's the last car 1 lap down is Alex Everett. So, my guess is that it is him on the pole position. That's my understanding of the BSR rules. So it would be Everett on pole, Graham second, Mias third, Sakovic fourth, and Anwar Smith in 5th position for that one. So that is what we've got shaping up for the final race of the day here at Virginia International Raceway. And yeah, make sure you join us after the break here on Apex Racing TV, where we get set for the race 3, the final race of the day. Can't wait for it. Hopefully you can't as well. We'll see you in a few minutes.
I'm sorry to bad again. Hope so.
There you go. I made sure that was in there. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to the BSRTC, the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. We're getting set for the final race of the day here at Virginia International Raceway. As you can see, they're set in the city of Alton, and I'm sure by the end of the evening, many drivers will have felt like they've been to Alton Towers. I had to get that in there, didn't I? Once again, Adam Bath, Chaz Draycott along with you for the ride here, and we're getting set for the final race. Alex Everett starts on pole position. Starting second on the grid is Rob Graham for Automech. Then we've got third, Benjamin Mears, then Maciek Sakovic, Anwar Smith, Laura Bond, Chris Wood, Pete Harrod. Then it's Simon Edwards, Paul Smith, the auctionman, and then Mark Woodhouse in 11th. 12th, Michael Blake. 13th is, quickly, we've got Jamie Rushworth. I know it says just Jamie, but never mind that. Scott Malcolm. Then Adam McNally, Craig Williams, Dan Brown, Carly Jansen, Nicole Foggy, and Jake Blackclaw. That is the top 20. Here come the lights.
Green, green, green.
They're out and we're away. Everett scrambles away. You can see the front wheel drive trying its best to get going. And look at this, free wide in the background as we go into the first corner. This might not end well. You can see in there that is the bright yellow card. That's one of them.
There's contact in the middle of the field further back. Just having a look at who's gone around. There's so many people moving on the time screen, I'm not sure.
Oh, smoke. And there's someone already off. That's Dan Brown and Dan Brown in the mix, and one car off that's dropping down the order. That's Simon Edwards in the Pro Sim car. See what happened to him quickly. Here's a replay. Is he going to get turned around? He loses it on his own. That's just cold tyres, and that's something that happened to Jerome Kaiser a few years ago. So it is as easily done the moment you put weight on. Oh, there's a CQR car in big trouble. Oh, this is not going to end well.
Kept it out of the way.
Oh,
that's
dear
Martin front around as well. There's number 47 car there as well is involved in that. That's Matthew Keeber, Small car. And that was that Sedgwick we just saw bouncing across the grass there.
Oh, it might have
looks
been,
like he's going down the order, so it must have been.
Yeah, here we go.
I think we also lost Newman, Malcolm and Blake as well quickly. Oh, that's a big one that.
Yeah, collided with another car, and Madsen, his teammate, nearly hits him.
One of the CQR boys sneaked through that as well really well, it seems.
Right then, sit rep. Our leader is Alex Everett in the Northern Lights Racing GT Mega Car. Second is Rob Graham. Third is Pete Harrod. Then it's Maciek Sakovic. Then Anwar Smith, Chris Wood. Benjamin Mears has dropped down 4 positions to 7th. Then it's Paul Smith up 2 to 8th. Then Jamie Rushworth 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Mark Woodhouse. Nicole Foggy, by the way, has gained 8 positions already to 11th here as we come out of the final corner. Let's get the timing tower up as they come across the line and see the gains that have been made. And you can see a few cars in the pit lane as well.
Pete Harrod's done a great job as well. He's doing me proud so far. He's up 5 places onto the podium. So hopefully he can start to mount a challenge on Rob Graham and Alex Everett. Not that I'm biased or anything, but we'll have to see what he can do. Graham's always been one of them that's good at defending as well, just like his teammate Scott Malcolm. So as we chase him on board here, it'll be interesting to see if Pete can gain any time through the S's section and obviously through these few little 90-degree left and right-handers that we get up here.
Pete Harrod, a real success story of the Kia, won the Club Series on the Sunday nights. They used to be on the Sunday nights 2 times, and he's moved over to the BSRTC, and steadily over the seasons he's worked his way to being a genuine contender for victories, and who knows, maybe this season a title effort as well. And he's currently chasing Rob Graham, who is the highest of the Pro-Am cars. Once again, you can see who's Pro and who's Pro-Am by the green and blue stripe. Oh, look how good he was through there, and he's got Rob Graham on the defensive here, hasn't he, Chaz?
Yeah, definitely. He's really good in cars like this, is Pete, because he's naturally a drifter at heart. I mean, he's good with his drifting in real life from what I've seen firsthand. And with this car, if a rear end gets away from him, it's quite easy to save. So it sort of matches Pete's driving style. So he does tend to go really hard on it, and he's making Rob Graham work for this podium place.
Well, if you remember Ivan Muller, before he got into touring cars, he was a former ice racing champion. That must have come in handy there. Here comes Pete Harrod over the top of the hill. No ice here. Oh,
he scared Rob out of it there. I was going to say he's going to lunge down the inside, see what Rob will do, and that's worked to full effect, to be fair. Rob's managed to get it back on the track cleanly. He's just ahead of his teammate there. That's Benjamin Mears. He didn't have a great start, it seems. He's dropped down 5 places. I think he was a bit slow off the line. But Pete's made the move stick, and he's done a great job of it. Psychological warfare, I think. As we look at Paul Smith now chasing down the 2 also met cars in this really big train.
Yeah, Paul Smith in Team Mad colours. You can see there as they come around to complete the second lap. Fastest lap of the race by Everest, our leader. Smith then to the inside into the first corner of Benjamin Mears. Oh, off goes Mears. And Smith went in deep as well, and he tries to get a late apex, and he even taps the Automech car. He gets hit again by the Northern Lights Racing car. This allows Savidovic into the mix here as we go through into turn 3. Oh, he's gone. Somehow he managed to keep that on, Nicole Foggy there. Look who's behind them. It's Ash Sutton as well. Get a move on, guys, because Ash Sutton's going to be there in a minute.
Yeah, he's already gained 17 places as well. So he's already flying for the order. To be fair to him, Savidovic has gained 15 as well. So he's definitely making up for the blown engine in race 1, as we see Ash now all over the back of Nicole Foggy. These two have had some titanic scraps in the World GT Championship as well. I mean, not sure whether you remember, but the race that we had at Road America was one of the greatest races I've ever seen in iRacing. Those two are side by side, lap after lap. As Paul's lost it, he's clipped the grass on one of the S's. Savidovic is off as well. I think he might have just sort of scared him off and gone with him, but yeah, Paul, contact with Sutton as well. The back end's on the grass, so Sutton does a great job to keep that going, and he still manages to make the corner.
Well, they hung out the flag of war, you could say there, and Sutton and Savidovic colliding. That allows, who's that behind? That's Carly Anson. We haven't seen much of Carl today in this one, and his teammate Josh Thompson's had some good success, but now Carly Anson, it's his turn to take to the top 10, or try to get to the top 10, as Sutton regains his composure and can now start to hunt down Savidovic again, because a bit of a quarter panel there. Car off. That's got to be Benjamin Mears, hasn't it?
It is, yeah. Number 42, Benjamin Mears.
Oh, careful with the rejoin. This track's synonymous or infamous for the Max Wright rejoin. Let's see what happened here then. Benjamin Mears, the Belgian.
He made contact with Paul as well. Paul's had the lap from hell at this point.
Oh, what's happened to Sven Glatzel? We could be about to find out, because if we carry on with this replay, something's about to happen to Sven Glatzel, the Northern Lights Racing car. See what happens then. Onto the front straight. He's into the pits. Now, either a meatball or he jumped the start. One of the two.
Everett's going down the order. Everett's flying down the order.
Oh no, our leader. Oh no, crisis averted. Don't worry. It's just my timing being being a pain.
I'll have to get used to that one. But yeah, that scared me. He's a long-time friend of mine on iRacing. Is Alex Everett. We've shared many hilarious evenings together. So I'm hoping for him to pull a result out of this one. But we know that Pete Harrod, also previous Kia Club Series driver, as you said, is hunting him down. As that is Jamie Rushworth, and in front of him is Chris Wood. Another one that's quick. Yeah.
You could say another one of your.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say another one of your academy graduates. You could say. From the Club Series on the Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Chris and Pete actually live very close to me, literally 10-minute drives either side, and they've been friends for a while. Pete actually got Chris into iRacing years ago in the Club Series. He had a bit of a shaky start, but as you've probably seen in World GT, and as you see now, he's definitely a formidable force in iRacing, as Jamie makes an absolutely beautiful move into that roller coaster section there. He gets it on the brakes perfectly.
Great job there, yeah. Chris Wood, one of the few drivers last season that persevered with the Audi in the World GT Championship, even though the balance of performance was kind of against him. Oh, Sakovic. He nearly had to deal with the imbalance of being on the grass there, but he managed to hold on to it. But this puts Rushworth in an ideal situation to pounce on Anwar Smith here as we come across the line. Start lap 5. We're quickly approaching the halfway mark of this one here. Is Rushworth going to go for the dive bomb? No, he's not, but doing pretty well here, up in 5th place. Very good race meeting for Jamie as well. Good in race 1, good in race 3. That is what you need to do, really. And anything you get in race 2 is a bonus. That's the tactic, I'm told, if you're one of the quick drivers in the BSRTC.
Everyone seems to be scaring me with what they say about the Audi and World GT, because Thrust Vector have actually changed over to it for next season. So that's we're just getting more and more scared by it. As Nicole Foggy's gone off track and he's flying down the order. Yeah, not sure what's happened to him.
Let's have a quick replay. See, contact. That's got to be with Sutton, isn't it?
Yeah, it was Sutton. Yeah.
Savidovic is also in there. You can see that Sutton's got by the reigning champion. Oh, it's the wheels colliding, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only light contact, isn't it? But it just upsets them so much. The car's not the drivers, although it may upset the drivers. You never know.
You can see also that Sutton's got by Savidovic, so that didn't take too long for him to get back up to the reigning champion and get by. So Sutton now up into 7th position. 21 positions gained, as you can see there from the graphic that we just bring up. So Can he get any further? Well, the gap to the car in front is 5 seconds, and Sutton may be quick, but with 5 laps to go, it will take some effort to get with him to get near to Chris Wood, and with no slipstream either, that could be interesting. Right, Carly Jansen, less than a tenth of a second between him and Rob Graham here, as Graham continues to fall down the order. It's no fault of him. It's just that you can see the quick drivers coming through. Was that a little touch going into the roller coaster section? I may have seen a puff of smoke, but through goes Jansen.
Yeah, beautiful move there, and he's running number 22 as well, my number of choice, so I'll obviously be willing Carl on subconsciously, but we've always seen that Carl's quick, as Graham goes a little bit wide there. I don't know if he's going to open up the door to Mark Woodhouse. He's got the overlap as they go side by side down the straight, and that is the best camera you could have chosen on that one, Adam, fair play. Well, as probably Rob Graham thinks now, I don't want to be in shot, and he goes off to the left, just in case of his last little late breakers here. Are we going to see that car come into shot? Hopefully not.
There it is.
There it is, yep. For the right reasons though, good overlap, and Mark Woodhouse has got the move done, it seems.
That is a move that gets him into the top 10, and 2 Pro-Am drivers that are battling away here. I know Carly Jansen, it says a Pro-Am driver, but you would expect that he's got the ability of a pro driver. Oh, we know that from the World GT Championship. He is a bit of a rookie though in the BSRTC.
Reigning World GT champion now as well.
Yeah, we spoke to him, of course, when he won that title at the end of last season. Nice train going on here. We haven't spoken about him too much today, but here's Alex Simpson. He's in 16th place, 6 positions gained. He's got Stephen Baxter in front of him, but we might have to move away from him, you know, because there is movement up towards the front, I feel. I think Anwar Smith may have just got by Chris Wood. We'll stay with this for now, actually, because you can see Alex here. He's trying to get by Stephen Baxter, and who's had up the inside? That's Dave Baker.
Yeah, it's on Ben Hackison there. He just nearly clips the back of Alex there. I think he might have compromised his run there. We'll have to see whether Ben can get alongside him in the annihilated car.
See what
he can do.
The positions are constantly changing here as they go wheel to wheel over the top of the hill. It's boosted versus CQR. Oh, he's trying to scare
Fluke
Dave.
And Jamie Fluke flying through on the brakes. Fantastic opportunism there. Don't know if he's going to get it done, but he'll have the inside line for the left-hander. Laidler's going to be rubbing his hands together here, thinking, go on, one of you boys just get the quarter panel in, go on. Yeah, it seems Fluke's made the most of it. Sorry, mate.
Oh, that's okay. Credit to Laidler, because he could have got up the inside there of Baker. We could have had a Mark Johnson situation where he got quarter panels into that tyre barrier on the exit. But I'm
really sorry, it wasn't Laidler, by the way, sorry. I've just realised it's Stuart McFadden.
I was going along with you there.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Looking at Wojciech Svidovic, I thought he was the apex car. Oh no, what's happened to Blackhall? Something's happened here. Now,
is it the Australian internet?
Oh, I pray it isn't. Here comes the... Oh! Now I think that was just an ambitious move by Foggy there, I think.
Yeah. I'd agree on that one, unfortunately, for Nickel.
Yeah, and that's well, Foggy hasn't had the best race. You saw him earlier getting tapped out of the way by Sutton when the two collided, and yeah, he's trying to make up for lost positions here, and yeah, that has put Foggy up into 13th place. That's still 6 positions gained, and you can see in this immense train. This is all starting out with the Youth Energy car of Adam McNally. He's got the best view in the world, I reckon. Let's have a look from the gearbox. Here it is. You can see that Nicole Foggy has been in the wars today by the state of that front end, and he could get worse here. I'm sure he's not too far away from an incident, from a DQ here, because the incident limit is 15. You're not going to get it done around the outside there, mate, I don't think. But
no, definitely not.
Here comes Stephen Baxter to try and get past Foggy now.
It's just a long drag up the straight. The same stable, so they might give each other room. They might be shouting at each other in Scottish, so you might not be able to understand it, but we'll have to see.
Oh, they get out of it, don't they? That was good between those two, as I think McNally goes a little bit deep in there and allows them back in with a shout. But just look at that train as we go through the roller coaster section here.
Hell of a view, isn't it?
We may have to look at the lead in a moment, because Alex Ever and Pete Harrod, the gap is just 4/10 of a second with a few laps to go. I say that, it's now gone back up to 6/10, but...
Yeah, it might be just sort of having a little accordion effect as he goes through corners, but looking at this now, actually Foggy's got a really good run. He's going around the outside to try and get the inside to the second corner, but it's not worked for him.
And Baxter may have just had a little tap. You saw him get a bit out of shape on the exit in the first corner, but yeah, great battle going on here. Oh, and just as we go off the gearbox, he goes off, and that's opened the floodgates here, because through goes everybody, and he could be under real pressure here, because here comes Jamie Fluke, who has already been in a bit of the action with Stuart McFadden earlier. He's now trying to get past. The Youth Energy car here as this snake continues to grow here.
We must have been weighing down the rear end of that Kia when we were on board with it then, because as soon as we came off it, he'd just gone. The back end absolutely just went on him, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it did. Worst possible moment for him, right on camera as well. Further up, you can see that must be Nicole Foggy, isn't it? That's trying to get past Rob Graham. Up to the top of the hill. Can he get the run to set him up? You can see in this battle, we've got this is the battle for 11th. We've got Graham there in the 34 car. Then it's Foggy, then it's Baxter, then we've got Alex Simpson in there, and then Ben Hackerson and Adam McNally. I don't know why McNally's got a full name on the battle graphic. Maybe it's just because we can fit it in, I don't know, but here comes Foggy. Mark Woodhouse isn't, according to the graphic, isn't too far away from this group either as we go over the top of the hill. This should be it. Graham's not giving up. He might have to lose a few positions now because of that. Foggy through into 11th. Graham could be about to lose another one. Oh, Foggy's off. Oh, he's back on again.
Just absolutely all over the place, isn't he, in this race, Nicole Foggy? He's having a really eventful one. He'll need a big lie down after this, but now he's got Rob Graham. He's not going to give him a chance to have that lie down, and he's got his sort of teammate Stephen Baxter behind him.
Oh my word, as we go into this first corner. Graham goes around the outside. Foggy does a good job of parking his car on the apex. Off goes Ben Hackerson. Here comes Baxter up the inside of everybody. He could try and get past his teammate here going into the left-hander. We'll have a look. We've got a camera here on the inside. Alex Simpson's got a great view of what's going on here as the two Northern Lights racing cars go into battle. Graham's still in there. You can tell you that the gap at the front's 0.2 of a second. We may have to look at that in a moment. 3 wide nearly going through the complexes. Graham striving to hold on to his 14th place. We're going to have to move away because look at this. This is the battle for the lead. Alex Everett leads Pete Harrod by about 0.2 of a second as we come up to the Oak Tree Bend. We're on lap 9 of 11. When we get to the line, we're going to be starting the penultimate lap of the race. And it's been a very entertaining race meeting here. And Pete Harrod, he's been slowly plugging away. And now he's got the opportunity to try and take the lead away from Alex Everett, Chaz.
Yeah, he's just got to stick with it, as Pete. It's a very difficult track to follow people on sometimes, because especially if it's just the two of you, because when you're not worrying about losing a place to the car behind here, you've obviously, all your focus is on beating the car in front, but if you push too hard to do that, then it sort of negates the whole effect of not worrying about the car behind, because you're just going to take yourself off. So it's a bit of psychological warfare, I imagine, in Pete Harrod's head right now.
Could do with a double screen, really, couldn't we? So we could see the crazy battle that's going on behind, and this as well. Over the line we go then. Pete Harrod's first real opportunity to try and get the lead here as we start the penultimate lap of the race. Over the line, onto lap 10. Alex Everett with the Northern Lights Racing GT Omega car with the Welsh flag emblazoned on the roof of the car. Pete Harrod, 2-time Club Series champion, trying to take the lead here. You can see Ash Sutton's set a new personal best as well as he tries to chase down Maciek Sakovic. Amazingly, he's managed to get that 5-second gap down to about 0.8 of a second. So that didn't take long at all here, as you can see more positions going on the lap timing tower. But for now, we stay with this battle for the lead. As much as I'd like to have a look at the midfield, we've really got to cover this battle for the lead here as Alex Everett continues to withstand the pressure of Pete Harrod.
It's a great fight between two lads that have had a lot of time in the Kia, so it's nice to see them going head to head again. It's been a good 2 years for me since I've seen these guys battling on track.
Yeah, I first saw these two on the Club Series. Trying for 6 seasons or 5 seasons?
5 seasons it ran for. We'd say, I think we all agree that the peak of the Club Series was season 3. It was just an absolute wonderful season with the Race Hub team that, not because I'm biased because I was part of it, but Race Hub and CQR, we just had an almighty battle all season. It was fantastic.
Well, to be fair, I think I've got to agree with you on that one. That was the first season I did with Paul Smith. We had Andrew Woodhouse winning at Brands Hatch Indy, which is still probably one of my favourite races that have had the privilege of commentating on here on iRacing. As you can see on the timing towers, Ash Sutton's managed to dispose of Maciek Sakovic straight away, and Pete Harrod could dispose of Alex Everett here as we go up to the roller coaster section. We might have just enough time to check in on Ash Sutton here. There he is. And you can see Sakovic and Savidovic having a good tete-a-tete here for 7th place, and it looks like Wojciech may have just got it done. So there he goes. Savidovic through into 7th place. Right, back with Everett and Harrod. The white flag is about to be thrown in the air. There it is, last lap. It's a few kilometres to decide it here, and Everett's led every single lap. But can he lead the one that matters the most, the final lap? Parks the car on the apex well. Nothing Harrod can do there, apart from hit the back of him, which he nearly does. Whereabouts do you reckon this move's got to be done? It looks like the top of the hill after the long straight seems to be the key overtaking spot here, Chaz.
Yeah, definitely. I was just about to say, if Pete can be as late on the brakes there as he has been in turn 1 and get it done properly, like we saw Jamie Fluke do earlier and like we saw Jamie Rushworth do, he's really not too far behind, actually. We've got to consider Jamie in this one still as well, really, just in case these two come to blows. But this is where Pete's got to start lining it up now. He's just got to think about it through this section, not get too close so he catches him out in the braking zone for the double right-hander at the end. And then he's just got to make sure he gets the run. They're both really squirming around on the curbs, though. Just got to see what he does with it here. Like I say, he doesn't want to get too close, just in case Alex catches him out on the brakes. He just wants to line it up now as they go around the tree that no longer exists.
Don't rule out Jamie Rushworth, you know. He is there.
Yeah. He could get slipstream here.
This could be interesting. Right, he's got a 0.3 of a second advantage, Alex Everett, as we come onto the back straight for the final time. As the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that Ash Sutton's disposed of Chris Wood, who's dropped down to 8th position. So something's happened there to Wood on the final lap of the race. Is anything going to happen in this battle for the lead, though? Over the top of the hill, into the roller coaster section for the final time. Alex Everett's got it all in hand here. Misses the apex, but doesn't matter. He can use the inside line here as we go into the final few corners. And unless he goes off, Pete Harrod has got a real tall order here to try and take the win. Look at the amount of curb he takes there. And this could allow Jamie Rushworth to take 2nd place if he's not too careful. Out the final corner. Checker flag is at the ready. And Alex
Great win
Everett,
that for Alex.
Yeah, fantastic win. Alex Everett takes the checker flag, wins here the final race at Virginia International Raceway. Pete Harrod 2nd. Ash Sutton is going to get 4th. He got past Anwar Smith on the run to the line. What a race that was from Ash Sutton. 24 positions, gained to finish in 4th place. Savidovic comes across the line, finishes in 6th. Right, here comes another manic train. We've got McFadden, we've got Blackhall, we've got Rob Graham. He's hung in there, hasn't he? And he's got 17th place. For his troubles in the end, that's not too bad considering he's a Pro-Am driver as well. Let's move back through the field. Look at this! What's going on here? We've got Davis off. We've got Adam Hadfield as well in a Samorsal car. Kip Stevens says thank you very much to those two. And comes across the line to take 35th place.
Fantastic race that. Just really good battling everywhere. Once again, just great with Harrod and Everett there to keep it clean all the way to the end. I was a bit worried that we were going to see a little bit of argy-bargy, but it's a shame Rushworth didn't capitalise on it more, but to be fair, he did a fantastic job of chasing him down so much towards the end. And it's a really well-deserved win, that is, for Alex Everett. It's good to see him on top again.
And a win for Boosted as well. 3 different teams taking wins tonight. Bodak in race 1, Boosted in race 2, and Northern Lights Racing in race 3. And I wonder what this could do in terms of the championship. We should have some interviews to do in a moment, but everybody has now crossed the line, so let's run you through the finishing order from the final race of the day here. Alex Everett then wins 0.3 of a second ahead of Pete Harrod. Jamie Rushworth finishing in 3rd. Ash Sutton finishing in 4th place. Great drive through the field from him. Look at that. CQR 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Then we've got Anwar Smith finishing in 5th. That's a good result for Youth Energy. And we've got the first of the Apex Racing UK cars. Savidovic, blown engine in race 1. He's able to fight back through the field and get a top 10 finish at the end of it. Maciek Sakovic and Chris Wood then follow in the 2-team Mad cars. Then Boosted with Carl Janssen in 9th. And 10th, Nicole Foggy, who was in all of the action here in that final race. May have even been able to finish higher, but you can see the difference in gaps there. Stephen Baxter finishing in 11th, just over a 10th of a second ahead of Mark Woodhouse, who finished in 12th. 13th for Alex Simpson. He's been there or thereabouts, Alex, today, but I don't think he could just break into the top 10, so that was probably the story of his night. Jamie Fluke managed to get back up the order in the 3rd and final race to get 14th. Then Dave Baker, 15th. Wonder what that's going to do in terms of the championship. Josh Thompson finishing in 16th place. 17th for Rob Graham. Then Jake Blackhall finishing in 18th place. Good run of results for Jake recently, considering the Aussie internet. Stuart McFadden finishing in 19th, Rusty Laidler in 20th, 2 CQR Academy cars there. Then Ben Hackerson, Anna McNally, Paul Smith. Despite going off with Benjamin Mears earlier on, he managed to get a top 25. For Paul, that though is looking at that's a 13 position loss. Simon Edwards, 24th, Janowski 25th, the race 2 winner. Brian Holmes finishing in 26th, then Dan Brown 27th. Nick Madsen, the Danish driver, finishing in 28th after nearly colliding with his teammate on the opening lap. Jack McIntyre 29th, Ross McFarlane in 30th. Then we've got Adam Delmont in 31st, Colin Cunniff 32nd, Martin Front in 33rd. Kip Stevens, who got a podium in the opening race of the day, finishing in 34th. Then Nathan Davis, compatriot of Alex Everett, another Welsh driver there, finishing in 35th. And Adam Hadfield finishing in 36th. Moving on back, we've got Christian Rose finishing in 37th, then Craig Evans in 38th, then 39th Laura Bond, then the cars that finished 1 lap down or more. Michael Hall, 1 lap down. The cars that didn't finish the race then. Tristan Bodis, Dave Crozier again, unfortunately for him. Sven Glatzel, Lee Deemer, Mark Johnston, Max Wright, Michael Blake in this Immortal car. Quite a few Automat Not Kill cars in here. 2 of them hit there with Scott Malcolm. Then Pete Newman, CQR Academy, Jack Sedgwick, the race 1 winner. Matt Keeber and Lorne Murray. I think we saw a few of those cars, how they ended up out of the race as well. So that is how the final race of the day finished. Right then, over to the Discord. Who have we got to aim at here? We've got 2 drivers that have made quite a name for themselves really for the exciting racing they have on track, and we've dragged them both in. Chaps, welcome. Josh Thompson and Rusty Laidler here joining us. Josh, we'll come to you first. Good second race. A 1-2 as well with your teammate Janowski.
Actually, quite a good overall meeting. Like, I think
especially after qualifying.
Yeah, I got a penalty last week, which like I didn't even know I was gonna be on the grid this week after what all happened in the group and stuff like that. So I came back just because I wanted to finish the season off with the team because I didn't want to leave them out. But no, like, great pace. Like, race 1, couldn't do any more, I don't think, just because obviously the gap, like, top 20 breakaway, and then there's a massive gap of this track, just the way it is, with the congestion in the midfield. So, obviously, that was that. Race 2, I think I probably could have had the win, but I was low on instance after the start, because obviously there was a pile-up I had to go off. I got hit 2 or 3 times, had, like, 10x, and when I saw Lee and Kip battling and starting shoving each other off the track and stuff, as you saw on the broadcast, like, I didn't really want to get an unforced 4x and get DQ'd. So I played my time. So the gap went from like 2 seconds to 5 or something like that. So, but no, I enjoyed it. And then race 3 coming through from the back to the midfield. I'll take that.
Pretty good. Rusty, over to you. The CQR Academy car was, as always, it seems, in the thick of the action as well.
When am I not? No, that was a good round. I really especially enjoyed the second race, to be honest, working my way through people that normally just barge me out of the way. And I had a cracking battle with Alex Simpson. He is not in the bracket of people that barge me out of the way. I will have you know, I actually quite enjoyed battling with Alex. And race 3, the same, actually. Really good fun fight, trying to cut through the field. I mean, there's a few people on the grid that have got a huge God complex problem and really need to reevaluate their driving. But,
Preach.
I'm not saying any names, but pretty obvious who they are. I mean, I got welted by one off the fucking go. Sorry for my language. I am really sorry. But
oh, Rusty.
Sorry, I'm at work today. So sorry.
Leave.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, it just goes to show, you know, especially if you've not been in the championship for a while, you've got to just sit back and remember that there's a lot of other idiots out there. Don't add to another one.
That's why I don't race with you.
Oh.
But yeah,
well, people like me bite back. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, I know about that. I think from the World Series anyway.
That's why I always have my car set up to be so good on the brakes.
There you go. Yeah, that's one way of getting through. Next week, well, it says it's next week's Virginia, but I don't know whether we're going to switch that round with Indy or not. If not, then we're on our way to Imola. So one of those 2 circuits. The Indy Road circuit, though, it's a bit different to this one. Rusty, what's the key going to be like at that one if we do go there?
Indy Road's a special place for me. It was where I scored my first ever win in the BSR.
I think I might remember that one.
Yeah, every time I literally beat Wodge by something like half a tenth, despite coming out the final turn like a second and a half in front of him. I had such a poor run out, and Wodge nailed it. It was like a photo finish. But yeah, every time I've been to Indy Road, I've always had really good results there. It's a track that I really like, but I'll be honest, I don't think we'll be seeing Indy till I'd say maybe later on in the season. I reckon we'll be like a round ahead of ourselves. So I think Imola might be the sensible option to go for now until we get a few more people that rage quit, I suppose. We won't be able to go to tracks like Indy Road.
Oh, is that the reason why we weren't at Indy? Because we've got too many people. Is that it? Or
yeah, I think it's Indy Road's got 53 stalls, and I think we're flipping between like 57 and 52 drivers. So it was too much of a risk to take. And fair play to the admins. I think they made the right call. VAR always makes for some epic racing. And tonight, I think tonight showed there was some cracking battles throughout the field, and I actually think the grid was kind of turned up on its head for once. We need to have last minute track changes more often,
or no Wednesday practice.
Just band practice. That's it.
I agree with you with the racing, though. I mean, it was a fantastic spectacle tonight. I mean, I was saying earlier on in the broadcast, I only actually got the track at 8:15 tonight. I actually had someone buy it for me because I thought we were at Indy, so I bought that out of what I remain in my very small bank account. So yeah, you're right. It's a fantastic track, and it's definitely done the job tonight. So hopefully we'll see that continuation. Sorry, of your good results at Indy if we do go there. But you never know.
I'd just be happy to finish, to be honest. It's like that last race, because myself, Jake, and Stu were kind of line astern. There was people coming along and saying, "Don't bother fighting them. What's the point in fighting them? It's 1 point. I'd rather you brought the car home," because we'd lost Pete through the smash at the very start. So it's like that. We need to get as many cars finishing as possible. So getting 60 points, as Baker says, getting 60 points for 20th is better than getting none, because you're racing someone with a god complex that weaves all over the place.
Yeah, it's a fair point. It's a strategic game, I suppose. It's a long season.
I mean, that's why I let Josh pass, because I thought he was going to kill me. No, I'm jesting. I knew Josh had the pace, so there was no point me fighting. Yeah. I was roasting him before. I said the sensible thing was I just wanted to let him go, and thought I'll just stick with Josh. Josh will keep me in touch with the pack.
I'll let this banter continue between you two, I think. But yeah, well done, well done, both of you on the evening. I think you can at least say in one of the races it's gone okay, and hopefully the drivers that you're talking to have managed to learn how to drive in a straight line when we get to Imola, because
probably won't.
That could be interesting.
Some of them have been like that since season 4, so I don't think he's going to soon.
Jesus Christ, Rusty.
At least since season 4, we don't have cars taking off into the air. I remember that from the early days of calling the BSRTC.
Don't jinx it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Someone's going to go flying. Well, last time I did
It'll be me now.
Last time I did BSRTC, it was at Imola, and I got 3 DQs in 4 races and managed to win the award for the unsafest driver at the end of the season.
And that's why you stuck to commentary.
There you go. And this is why they haven't got Donington on the on the calendar, because it's a good thing that I'm not racing again, because lately you're putting a target on your back here. So
when am I not?
I'm only messing. Don't worry. I'm not racing. Not planning on racing anytime soon.
I've been winding Alex Simpson up for the last 2 years. I'm surprised he hasn't started knocking me about yet.
Well, Montreal's not too far away. In fact, it's in 2 weeks, and you know who we're rolling out for that one.
Oh God, are we going to get a Woodhouse comeback? We've already got one dangerous Woodhouse on the grid. Do we need another one?
I'll make sure that
I'm leaving now.
I'll make sure that a start line pile-up is in order again. For that one, but yeah, Josh, Rusty, it's been a pleasure as always, and yeah, thanks for coming and speaking.
We're not allowed back. We're not allowed back.
I think that's been banned now, but it was worth it.
Yeah, it was nice to be there for your last interview.
Boothead from the Discord. But yeah, see you later, chaps.
Good fun, that lads. See you later, boys.
See you later.
So Russell Laidler making waves as ever in the iRacing community, but great to speak to the lads after. Yeah, it's great to speak to the lads after a race like that. Just to note as well, those 2 drivers are 2 prime examples of making their way through a field. I mean, Rusty got 16 places up to 20th in the 3rd race, and Josh got 28 places gained in that one. So he still got 16th, even though he started like 44th on the grid. So it's great to see lads like that. They've all got different approaches to how they race, but like Rusty says, it's quite a strongly opinionated thing. But at the end of the day, if if there are people out there that you seem to have blows with, it gets frustrating in things like iRacing, because people, as we do this for, we all take it very seriously, don't we?
Yeah, yeah. And if any of you were deeply offended by what Laidler said, apologies for that. But
and you can write to the BBC as well. If you want.
You can write to me, strongly worded letter. If you wonder why we had no ads today, that's because I was here. Only joking, I haven't got the ads. But yeah, that is it. And judging from the fact that we haven't got too many more interviews today, I wonder if some protests are being lodged as we speak. But yeah, a reminder that this weekend we've got the usual action on Apex Racing TV. I believe we've still got some AOR, Apex Online Racing, to do tomorrow as well. And over the weekend we've probably got some V8s and BSR Grand Tour to have a look at as well. But Chaz, it's been a pleasure. And
it has indeed, and to you.
Yeah, get well soon, Andrew Woodhouse. I don't know if he's still watching, but yeah, the throat meant that he couldn't be with us today, and yeah, we'll be back next week after what Laidler has said, probably Imola, and that should be good as well. Once again, a completely different circuit to this one, a lot more narrow, plus not too many runoff areas there either. And tell you what, the run into Tamburello could get pretty interesting, Chaz.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It'll be a good one to watch. I may not be in the box, but I'll certainly be watching for that. It's a hell of a track, and it's a hell of a series to take there. I mean, the charm of this series is the fact that there's so many cars on track, so much action. I mean, we still don't know where to look when we're watching it, so being at the front is probably a safe option. But yeah, I agree with you. It'll be an absolute belter, that will.
Have you got the track? Just out of interest.
I have not, so I probably won't be in the box, because hopefully Andrew will be better by that point.
Has the World GT Series never been to Imola? Or did you just not race that one?
I don't think it has, but if I've not raced there, then I probably won't think it has, so yeah, that might be the correlation on that one.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, thanks for joining me, otherwise it would have been a one-man booth for this one. And yeah.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a great evening. One of the best, I think, of the season so far. That is it then. So, congratulations to our 3 winners. We had Jack Cedric in race 1, we had Janowski in race 2, and in race 3, we had Alex Everett. So, 3 different teams, and the BSRTC title race is back on. Let's see if it continues at Imola. But for now, from me and Chaz at the Virginia International Raceway, bye for now.